Hey, Austin, catching Bueller tonight, what's the first thing you're noticing in terms of his stuff when he's on?
Yeah, to see how the fastball is playing, what off speeds, what's working which way. So you get kind of a good feel for him in the bullpen. I think you see how his ball is playing, and then you make adjustments from there. But, obviously we feel really good with having Locke up there tonight.
We've had this discussion before when he pitched the last time, but he really credited you as well as Will in times that Will's caught him as well with just the trust and how you particularly got him through those moments to allow him to be so calm. How much pride do you take in that when you're able to walk a guy through a really tough situation?
Yeah, that's our job, right? That's, as a catcher, that's to put up zeros and, give our offense. And, obviously there's two sides of it. But that's one of our biggest goals is to throw up zeros and keep us in the game and give us a chance to win. So obviously the pitcher-catcher relationship is something I take pride in, and so does Willie and all catchers. But we work hard on it.
Could be a really good pitching matchup tonight on the other side as well. In your opinion, what's the best way to get to Morton early?
Yeah, he's a good pitcher. Obviously he's made some big starts for them, and the Astros, we have some history with them. So just stay within ourselves, and I think taking the singles and taking the knocks, I think not trying to do too much is a good recipe for us. So hopefully we can get some runners on, get some traffic up there, and, score some runs.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ken Davidoff. Go ahead.
Hey, Austin, just wondering from your point of view as a player, what is the most important attribute that a manager should bring, and how does Dave Roberts do in bringing that?
It's just he has to lead a group of men, so just the way he has trust in the clubhouse, everybody trusts Dave and Doc, and he's very personable with everybody. So we've been through the grind with each other for 4 seasons, and we're going to get one now this year.
And just in terms of managing the pressure, and on this franchise in particular, just with 32 years and the payroll size, do you feel like he helps alleviate that pressure on a daily basis?
Yeah, everybody's aware of the drought in LA. The fans are itching for a championship, and we're working hard with Doc and to try to bring home a championship for the city of LA.
Thank you.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Austin, how do you what goes into pitch framing so well? Something that you've done really well this season.
What goes into it? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's kind of hard to, just to go in every detail of it. But, it's something we work hard in, take pride in. It's really to give your pitcher your best chance and just fight for the pitcher every pitch, really. But, there's a lot that goes into pitch framing.
How much have you improved in that over the last, whatever amount of years? When do you feel you got really good at it?
I think when I was with the Marlins in 2013 or so, I had a buddy with the Yankees, Hector Rabago, who kind of showed me some stuff that I didn't really believe in at the time. But he showed me some stuff on it, and the Yankees were kind of ahead of everybody, I felt like, in that department. And he showed me a lot of stuff that translated to getting more strikes, and it did. So I kind of just took it from there.
Well, thank you.
Next question from Rowan Kavner. Go ahead.
Hey, Austin, Walker's talked, especially early on when he had the blister issue, about how the cutter was kind of the problem pitch. How do you kind of navigate that? It seems like in this last start he threw a few more. Is he at the point where you feel confident calling that pitch? Is it something you talk about before? How do you kind of handle that?
Yeah, all his pitches are on the table, but we're not going to, this is the World Series. So, all his stuff will be available. But, it's an interesting dynamic, early in the season and kind of late in the season, to be not trying to hurt him too much. But, he's going to make his pitches that are in the right situation at the right time. So, hopefully the blister's healed up, and it holds true.
Next question is from Stephen Hawkins. Go ahead.
Austin, obviously you guys have played, you'd like to play a World Series at home, but what's it been like playing a neutral site World Series, and what would you think about if they thought about doing something like this in the future?
It's interesting. I think the bubble dynamic is an interesting thing. Being around your teammates, waking up in the morning and, walking outside and there's Bueller and Belly and all and Woody and stuff like that. It's an interesting dynamic for sure. It is weird playing not at our home field and playing at the same, stadium. The stadium is on the bigger side. I think takes a little bit to get used to, but it feels like playoff baseball to me, and these games are tough. They're not easy. It feels like playoff baseball for sure to me.
But it is obviously different than when you're playing in Dodger Stadium, because you played in Dodger Stadium these games, so it is vastly different, I guess. Yeah,
I think the biggest difference would be obviously not the crowd as much. Sometimes on the road and at home, the crowd gets, pretty loud. So there's not as many people here, but that is probably one of the biggest differences.
Thanks.
Next question's from Ken Gurnick. Go ahead.
Another question about pitch framing. Is the real goal to have balls called strikes or to make sure that strikes aren't called balls?
I would say, both, but to get as many strikes as you can. Obviously, you don't want to lose strikes in the zone for your pitcher. I think those ones come back and kind of bite you a little bit. So, just, when strikes are strikes, just getting them called. I think that's a big, important aspect of it. But you're just fighting for your pitcher every pitch. I think all catchers fight for your pitcher every pitch. But, stuff can swing stuff around, and, positive counts and negative counts are a big aspect of the game.
Thanks.
Next question is from Jack Harris. Go ahead.
Austin, when you're working with Walker on preparing for this start, are you literally just sitting down together, like looking at the Rays lineup? Are you going over it with coaches? Like, what does that actually look like trying to prepare for a game like this?
Yeah, we'll obviously we did a lot of homework before the series. And the coaches did a lot of homework, and they've talked to us about stuff, and then we do our own stuff, and we kind of have a meeting, and we come together and see what a specific plan we want to do for the lineup. So, everybody's kind of, has taken a look at it, and then we come to kind of a similar conclusion of how we want to attack these guys.
Is Walker a guy whose game plan changes a lot on the opponent, or is he a pitcher who especially just likes sticking to, his strengths or the pitches he likes throwing most? I think it's both. There's a fine line with it. I think he's adaptable. I think he can do more than just what he's comfortable with. But I think there's a fine line to meet in between that. Thank you.
Next question from JP Hoornstra. Go ahead.
Walker's never going to use his blisters as an excuse for anything, but he's been out there making one really strong start after another. Are you surprised he's done as well as he has, and are we maybe underestimating how difficult it is to do what he's doing?
With the blister, I think, it's not ideal for sure, but he's a big game pitcher, and he'll make big pitches. So he's the guy we want out there. He's done it for us in the past, and it's a guy that we rely on. So, am we surprised or do we expect it? I don't know if either is fair, but he's our guy.
Thank you.
Next question is from Gabe Lacques.
Hey, Austin. What can you tell us about the development of Julio in recent years, the strides he's made as he's matured, and are you glad to see him kind of afforded the leash he'll get tomorrow and starting such a big game in Game 4?
Yeah, I've always known the potential Julio has. The demeanor he has and the temperament, I thought he's kind of made for this kind of baseball. So he's not scared up there, that's for sure. So we love when Julio's out there. He's making big pitches for us, throwing some big innings, and I think he's going to continue to do that for us.
I got time for one more. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, for the first time since you guys have been playing here this postseason, the roof is going to be closed. Do you expect any differences in the way the ballpark plays? And then you've been outside today, so how glad are you that it is going to be closed?
Yeah, it was chilly. I thought we were in Texas, but it's cold. But the only time I thought it kind of affected us was that one game where it was I think Kirsch was pitching. It was super windy. The balls were doing kind of weird stuff, but besides then, it was playing kind of normal for me. But yeah, I don't think it'll be that big of a difference.
All right, thank you.